Hello, my name is Shauntaya Parker, and over the summer I worked with Kitsap County Public Works. The title of my presentation is Reviving Kitsap: Strategies for Diversifying and Sustaining Volunteer Engagement in County Litter Cleanups. My site supervisor was Caitlin Newman, and my faculty advisor was John Wallace. This is important because illegal dumping and littering damages ecosystem, threaten human health, and strain resources. Volunteer participation, like Kitsap County's Adopt a Spot program, helps reduce waste, but participation for this program is uneven and aging, making long-term program sustainability uncertain. This project explored how to engage younger and more diverse volunteers to strengthen the program's impact and resilience. Which brings me to my research question, which is how can the Kitsap County Solid Waste Department attract and retain a more diverse and sustainable volunteer base for litter cleanup programs? I started my project by initially conducting two surveys, one with current Adopt a Spot members, asking basic demographic questions to see the kinds of people Kitsap County already works with. The second one was targeted towards people between the ages of 15 and 25, asking them what barriers prevent them from volunteering, what would incentivize them to volunteer more often, and what would be the best way to get in touch with them. We can see in figure one that is one of the legal dump sites I cleaned up with when I was working with Clean Kids Up over the summer, which is a part of the solid waste department. From the first survey, I found that majority of the Adopt a Spot members are on the older side, most of them being between the ages of 50 and 70. From the second survey, I found that the biggest barriers younger respondents face when it comes to volunteering is the lack of transportation, lack of awareness, and not wanting to do it alone. After speaking with my site supervisor, we thought it would be best to focus on the lack of awareness and not wanting to do it alone, as those were more feasible to find a solution to in my limited amount of time and resources, but I'll be talking about the lack of transportation in the next step section. From the surveys, I found that increasing the social aspect of volunteering and offering reward-based incentives would encourage younger participants to show up. And we also found that social media would be the best way to keep in touch with them. And because of this, I organized and led two community cleanup events with free giveaways to the participants who showed up. And I advertised this event through social media. And this proved to be successful as majority of the participants who showed up were on average younger than the Adopt a Spot members. These results suggest that community-based outreach and accessibility improvements can ensure long-term sustainability of volunteer programs. But volunteerism sustainability requires targeted outreach and consistent motivation strategies. Continuing community cleanup events rather than leaving them as individual efforts will help sustain and increase younger participation. We can see in figure four, this is a photo of the first community cleanup I hosted with Cafe Perfetto in Bremerton, Washington. I believe that these insights can guide youth-focused outreach across other volunteer programs, not just ones that are litter-based. Next steps for Kitsap County to continue on my project would be to coordinate bus routes or carpools to improve accessibility, as lack of transportation was listed as the biggest barrier. I also think it is extremely important to maintain an active social media presence, and I think they can even go a step further in targeting specific school clubs that already require a certain amount of volunteer hours from their members. By encouraging residents to attend these recurring community events rather than isolated cleanup, participation specifically among youth can increase, helping volunteer-based cleanup efforts become more sustainable in the future. And I would like to thank my site supervisor, Caitlin Newman, my faculty advisor, John Wallace, and my family and friends for their continuous support and guidance. Thank you.